Right now, two art fairs with very similar names were in Madison this weekend. We explain the difference and why some may confuse the two. Also, fresh off a flurry of vetoes from the two-year budget this week, Governor Evers says he's willing to negotiate an item. Find out what that is in this week's For the Record. And tomorrow marks the 5-year anniversary of an explosion that shook Sun Prairie. We take a look at the events commemorating that devastating night. That's all coming up at 5:30. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Arman Rahman. If you're one of the thousands of people who took in the art downtown this weekend, you may have noticed that there were actually two different art fairs going on. Art Fair on the Square spans the 8 blocks surrounding the Capitol, but at the same time, Art Fair off the Square takes over Martin Luther King Jr. Drive just a block away. So why are there two shows and do they get along? Our Braden Ross spent the morning getting the answers to those questions.
This is the 65th annual Art Fair on the Square, where hundreds of artists from across the country come to Madison to sell their work. But just around the corner is Art Fair off the Square. So besides the location, what's the difference?
It turns out there are a few. Art Fair on the Square is a fundraiser for the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art.
This year we have more than 400 artists in the 8 blocks around Capitol Square.
For 65 years, they've been bringing in artists from around the country.
I just really love to see the community appreciation of the arts, how the community, the Madison community and all around the state come to support the artists.
Art Fair off the Square was started 44 years ago by the Wisconsin Alliance of Artists and Craftspeople.
We wanted a place for Wisconsin artists to have a home to showcase their skills and their goods in their own fair, and thus Art Fair off the Square was born.
It's about a quarter of the size of on the Square, and the artists are exclusively from the Badger State.
Somebody asked me what the difference was between on the Square and off the Square, and I told them it's just more artists.
Many of the artists from both shows are regulars in the art show circuit.
If I were to walk up on the Square, I would probably know at least a quarter of the artists there, and in some cases, I saw them last weekend, and I'll see them next weekend in my next show.
For them, on the Square or off, it doesn't make much difference.
It's a family. It's a community, a true community. We watch out for each other. We check in with each other while we're on the road.
And as far as any beef,
As far as I know, no major beef going on.
It's all the same to us. It's just a lovely day to support artists from wherever they come from.
Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
And the artists say even if there was once beef 40 years ago, it's all squashed by now. And let's get outside now for your certified most accurate forecast with Jacob Montesano. Not a bad day to look at some art.
Yeah, for the most part, this weekend was fairly comfortable, especially considering that we are in the warmest time of the year, just about mid-July already. And if we take a look outside, we also saw a lot of sunshine. I have to say, in the shade, it's just about perfect. It's probably a bit hotter in the sun, obviously, with current temperatures in the lower 80s, but we're also seeing some pretty calm winds. Looking at the current temperatures across our area, some places are in the mid-80s further to the west, but also further to the east, 70s along the lake, so very comfortable out there near Milwaukee. Now, I have to point out some of the hot temperatures that the southern portion of the United States will be seeing, is seeing right now and will be seeing for the rest of the week. 109 in Phoenix, 100 in San Antonio. Some of these temperatures are actually going to get worse throughout the week, with Phoenix forecasted to get near 120 later on this week. So even if you thought it was hot today, definitely appreciate the 83 for a high that we saw here in Madison. For the overnight forecast, we're going to see low temperatures dropping to around 60 degrees. So for the most part, it's going to be pretty comfortable overnight, mostly clear skies. And then for tomorrow, it will be hot. Highs will be around 90 degrees, but obviously a lot better than portions of the southern half of the United States. We also are going to see some breezy conditions at times, and rainfall is expected at several different points this week. I'll take you through the full forecast coming up a bit later in the show.
Jacob, thank you. Governor Tony Evers seemed to switch his stance on middle-class tax cuts, one of the 51 line-item vetoes he struck out of the budget with his pen this week. Evers removed GOP-proposed tax cuts on Wisconsin's top 2 tax brackets when he signed the biennial budget. But on For the Record today, the governor says he's open to negotiating middle-class tax cuts for those not included under the budget.
If we could work something out and look at that, that's fine. I understand the broadness of that that area is something I could not deal with with a veto. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is it has to be a middle class tax cut. It can't be everything for the wealthy folks in the state of Wisconsin. Simple as that.
Earlier this week, however, Evers told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel he wouldn't support a push from Republicans to introduce a standalone bill with the same proposed cuts. The ones the governor just vetoed would give tax cuts to single filers making more than about $27,000 and married couples making more than $37,000. And tomorrow marks 5 years since the devastating explosion that physically and emotionally rocked the community of Sun Prairie. It was on July 10th of 2018 when construction crews hit a gas line that was improperly marked. It caused a gas leak, which ultimately led to the massive explosion. Sun Prairie Fire Department Captain Corey Barr was killed. Several others were injured in the blast. The city has worked to recover since that devastating night, but has paused every July 10th to remember what happened. Multiple events are planned for the anniversary. The first will take place at Burn Boot Camp, where Captain Barr's widow, Abby, will hold a fundraiser for spouses of fallen first responders. The Sun Prairie Fire Department will hold a remembrance of Barr beginning at 3 p.m. Following that, there will be a gathering at Glass Nickel Pizza running from 5 to 8 p.m. Members of the public are also encouraged to leave flowers, notes, or other mementos at the site of Barr's statue in front of Fire Station 1. Meanwhile, News 3 Now will have coverage of the anniversary across all of our shows. On News 3 this morning, Josh Sprider will be talking live with the mayor of Sun Prairie and Fire Chief Chris Garrison. Eric Franke will be on location at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. Then also at 6, tune in for a special report only on News 3 on how Abby Barr, Chief Garrison, and the city of Sun Prairie as a whole have changed and worked on healing to be Sun Prairie stronger. And in Chicago, 20 are injured and 1 person is dead after a crash between an SUV and a city bus. According to police, the SUV was driving the wrong direction down DeSable Lakeshore Drive. Officials with the Chicago Transit Authority say the bus was heading north and the collision occurred just before 6 a.m. A woman who was a passenger of the SUV was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. The Chicago Fire Department shared on Twitter that more than 20 people were involved in the crash and that 12 people, along with the bus driver, were taken to the hospital for injuries. President Biden is expected to land in London around dinner time on the East Coast. The trip kicks off a critical week of meetings in Europe as he works to keep support up for Ukraine. The nation has been struggling to win back territory taken over by Russia in the war. Tina Kim has the details.
On the 500th day of Russia's war on Ukraine, President Biden headed to Europe to keep up his fight for Ukrainians on the diplomatic stage. Tuesday, he'll meet with fellow members of NATO, the Western alliance, helping Ukraine defend against the Russian invasion. The prime issue expected? Whether Ukraine can join NATO now. President Biden said the war-torn nation is not ready, should only join after the war has ended, and pointed out what it would mean when a NATO nation is at war.
If the war is going on, then we're all in a war. You know, we're at war with Russia, if that were the case. So I think we have to lay out a path, for the rational path, for Ukraine to be able to qualify to get into NATO.
The NATO summit in Lithuania will take place just days after President Biden approved cluster munitions for Ukraine's defense. The weapon is banned by more than 100 nations. Many of them belong to NATO. Cluster munitions send out dozens to hundreds of mini bombs, and the bomblets often do not detonate immediately. The duds pose a long-term risk to civilians who may come across them later. The U.S. greenlighting cluster munitions has won praise from some Biden critics, like Republican Congressman Mike McCall.
They are highly effective, and particularly hitting flanks of troops inside of Ukraine. They would be a game changer in the counteroffensive, and I'm really pleased the administration has finally agreed to do this.
I'm Tina Kim reporting.
And before the NATO event, President Biden has a big day tomorrow. He's expected to meet King Charles III of England for the first time since he took the throne. Well, coming up next after the break, a first-of-its-kind Alzheimer's drug has been fully approved by the FDA. We share what local officials have to say.
Here's your parachute. Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you foreign print certain? Certainty matters. Like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Talk to myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. With pride in the way, it's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured we are here to help. The VRAP team is standing by to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit VRAPWI.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
With Gold Bond, you can age on your own terms. Retinol Overnight means the smoothing benefits of retinol are now for your whole body. Plus, fast-working crepe corrector diminishes wrinkled skin in just 2 days. Gold Bond, championing your skin.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
A first-of-its-kind Alzheimer's drug has been fully approved by the FDA. The drug is intended to slow cognitive decline in people in the early stages of the disease. After years of little progress, those affected by the disease have found a new hope in the form of lecanemab. With the FDA approval, qualified patients will receive IVs every 2 weeks. As Dr. Cynthia Carlson with the UW system explains, it's a way to slow the progressions of Alzheimer's, but it's not a final solution.
This is the first of, we hope, future therapies. It's only going to be available for a subgroup of people, so people who have mild cognitive impairment or mild dementia.
There are pills currently available, but experts say none of them get to the root of the problem like lecanemab. But researchers like Carlson are hoping this is just the start for finding a cure. Doctors say there can be some side effects due to neurologic changes that they can range from mild to severe. And in other health news, having a successful career, relationships, and finances could lower your risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. A study of 500,000 people published in JAMA Network Open finds a person's well-being is linked to their mortality from heart disease. Financial and community well-being are the biggest factors that improved outcomes. And coming up next at 5:30, Jacob is back with another check of your firstborn forecast.
5 years after a horrific explosion, Sun Prairie rebuilds while honoring a fallen firefighter.
He was just an amazing guy.
Armand Rahman shows you how the city is healing to make Sun Prairie stronger. Monday on News 3 Now at 6.
Alien tape is strong enough to hold this fishbowl on a moving car. Just peel and stick and make anything stay in place quick. A wooden shelf, a basket to glass, rugs to the floor, and so much more. Alien tape sticks to brick, pavers, marble, tile, plastic, even leather. Nothing works better. Alien tape secures in seconds, then twist, pull, and rinse to reuse. You're dying to try it. Here's your chance to buy it.
Call 1-800-490-1347 or go to tryalientape.com. That's 1-800-490-1347.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
The story of Scott the Window Guy starts with the crack of a bat and a broken window. Little did I know, Mom actually wanted her windows replaced. I'm Scott the Window Guy from AHT Wisconsin Windows. For the past 50 years, we've been replacing windows in Wisconsin with a 50-year warranty and a 10-year glass breakage guarantee to protect you
from kids like me.
Get a free, no-obligation estimate and $225 off per window at scottthewindowguy.com.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Today at the Family Heritage Center was the Environmental Fun Fair. The fair includes activities such as a rainfall simulator, solar experiment, damping demo, live reptiles, and many other nature-centered things to do. Dane County Parks says the event gives families the opportunity to get outside and connect with nature.
The goal is really to get kids interested in science and nature with hands-on activity stations. So we have a number of different topics, laboratory microscopes, birds, reptiles, there's nature crafts, so anything that's going to spark an interest in the outdoors.
Some other activities included a mobile trash lab, nature crafts, and a whole lot more. Now let's head over to our own environmental fun fair, our forecast with Jacob.
Yeah, we do have a lot of chances of rainfall this week, so for the most part, it will be a little bit fun this week. And tomorrow, though, it's going to be near 90 degrees, at least during the afternoon, but it will be a bit breezy, so maybe some of that breeze might cool things off. But then we're going to see that rainfall into tomorrow night with rain likely on Wednesday. And then there's another round of rainfall for Friday. So let me take you through the wind gusts first. During the afternoon tomorrow, actually, we'll start kind of in the morning, but morning and afternoon, we'll see wind gusts anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour. The further north you go, though, the windier it will be. But then as we head into the overnight hours, we're going to see even gustier winds to the east of Dane County with wind gusts up to 35, maybe even approaching 40 miles per hour for places near the lake. But the winds are not going to be a big factor for the rest of the week as we will begin to see calmer winds for Tuesday. Right now, clear skies. We're going to continue to see clear skies for the next 24 hours or so. Not expect to see a lot of rainfall during the daytime tomorrow. But beginning tomorrow night, we're going to see some rain form to our north. But it is going to dissipate as it moves south. But we could still see some showers and storms here in the southern portion of the state during the overnight hours tomorrow into Tuesday morning. But for the most part, the rainfall tomorrow night is not going to be a huge issue. It will mostly last during the overnight hours and also won't produce that much. But for Wednesday, we are going to see rain likely. Now, unfortunately, the rainfall Wednesday does look to be a lot less significant than we initially had anticipated, with the bulk of the rain being to the south of us. But much of southern Wisconsin will likely see some rain at some point on Wednesday, and it looks like it will clear out in the evening, probably around sunset. But then more rain is possible for Thursday and Friday, likely going to enter our area late Thursday, but more chances of rain across southern Wisconsin for Friday as well. So one of these threats of rain is bound to produce a good amount of rainfall. Now, looking at the precipitation forecast for the whole week, Monday night into Tuesday, mostly to the north. And then as we get into Wednesday, the heaviest will be to the south. But for the most part, all week, we'll see a total rain accumulation and possibly up to an inch. So even more than an inch is possible. So throughout this entire week, we are going to see some rainfall, and hopefully we do indeed see a lot because we desperately need that rainfall. Now, as far as the temperature forecast, lows will be around 60 tonight. The further north you go, especially north of La Crosse, we actually, those areas will see low temperatures near 70. And then tomorrow, it'll be pretty hot with highs near 90. For the most part, we'll see sunshine, a few clouds here and there with the rain not really entering our area until the overnight hours. For Tuesday, we do have a chance of rain, especially early. Most of Tuesday will also be dry during the day. A good chance of rain on Wednesday, and then the third round of rain will be Thursday night into Friday. And as far as the temperatures, they're going to be fairly comfortable after tomorrow with high temperatures in the lower 80s, possibly mid-70s for Wednesday with all the rain and cloud cover. Won't be very hot. And then we'll see temperatures begin to warm up for the next weekend. So once again, the chances of rain will be Monday night, Wednesday, and Thursday night into Friday. So the best chance of rain looks to be Wednesday, and then I would say Thursday night to Friday. With the Monday night rainfall, it's possible all that rain dissipates before it enters Dane County and the rest of southern Wisconsin, but I still expect to see some rain, especially for northern counties. But nonetheless, we're going to see some rainfall this week, and it's possible we could see over an inch total, which we definitely need.
We definitely do. Have you ever heard of a mobile trash lab? I haven't.
Yeah, no, that's not familiar with me.
I mean, my car, I guess, could count as that, but it's pretty dirty. But, I mean, just kidding. Thanks, Jacob. Still ahead, the Brewers played their final game before the All-Star break. That's next in sports with Andrew.
You've got this. 10 days, 2 kids, and the open road. Tourist traps? Set. Souvenir allowances? Dispersed. Juice boxes? Abundant. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you, with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. So when must-see attractions become must-pay with cash adventures, we've got you.
Mom, why is the front door open?
You've got this with Associated Bank.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Ryder Chips. Just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Don't worry. My cousin's got a guy.
Hey, I'm not sure I can help you with the house gas, but I can help you replace this window fast.
Let the experts at Feldco kickstart your summer with 2-for-1 windows and no interest until 2025. Plus, we'll get it done Feldco fast.
2-for-1 windows won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Okay, guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines with unlimited data for just $90 total.
Sorry, just double checking. Is it really that good of a deal?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. On top of that, you also get 4 free phones.
4 free phones! Wow, I just triple checked and that's awesome.
So go get that deal. Or at least help me clip. You check expiration dates.
Oh, I can do that.
Great.
4 lines for $90 a month, plus 4 free phones. US Cellular, built for us.
Which hotel? Somebody say which hotel? I'm great at this. Dance your faves in the spa-like bathroom. Or enjoy local craft beers with breathtaking views at the Cambria. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Join me in the 608 weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
In seasons past, the Brewers have kind of crumbled leading up to the All-Star break. This year, despite an anemic offense of late, they've kept pace in the playoff race. They're 10-6 in their last 16 and hosted the Reds today in their final game before the break. Not a whole lot of offense in this one. Bottom one, Jesse Winker at the plate. And the first year, Brewer delivers. A line shot finds some green in the outfield. That would score Christian Yelich to put the Crew on top, 1-0. Now we'll skip to the 9th. Same score, still 1-0 Crew. All-Star Devin Williams closes the book, and the Crew head to the All-Star break. 1 game back in the NL Central. Today's 2-hour, 4-minute game is tied for the shortest home game in ballpark history. The Madison Mallards were scheduled to play at home today, but while driving to Madison, Northwoods League umpire Connor McKenzie tragically died in a car crash. 2 other umpires in the car sustained non-fatal injuries. The team postponed the game out of respect for McKenzie and his family, who had umpired more games than anyone in Northwoods League history. To college football, where Northwestern suspended head coach Pat Fitzgerald for 2 weeks, but are reportedly considering harsher punishment. This comes in the wake of accusations from a former player alleging severe hazing on the team, at times in a sexual nature. The school completed an investigation that reportedly found evidence of the hazing, but Fitzgerald's knowledge of the situation is under question. A few weeks ago, I gave you some financial advice. I asked you to please put your stock in the flock. Turns out I think I was on to something, because Forward Madison is on fire. The Mingos hosting Central Valley Fuego last night at Breeze Stevens. In the 16th minute, it's Derek Gebhard with a strike, and he finds the twine. That would be the difference maker. They've won 4 of their last 5 and sit in first place in the USL 1 standings. The NBA Summer League is in full swing, and the Bucks are rolling. They've won each of their first 2 games, and 2 young Bucks have risen above the rest. Their first picks in each of their last 2 drafts, Marjon Beauchamp and Andre Jackson Jr. have dominated the first 2 Summer League games. And with head coach Adrian Griffin on the sideline, they look like a pair that could make a real impact on the Bucs' next title run.
I just think, especially Dre, with just being a rookie, his feel for the game, he's able to get out there and use his athleticism. It's so impressive to watch. And I think Marjon has just been so solid on both sides of the ball. You know, he's just been a leader out there and setting the tone for us.
Elsewhere in the Summer League, Micah Potter was filling it up for the Utah Jazz. The former Badger dropped 18 points, including a pair of 3 balls. Potter, who's played 2 NBA seasons, also grabbed 9 rebounds while dishing 4 assists.
Wow, very cool there. What would you do if you're on the Powerball?
If I won the Powerball, man, I don't know what I would do, but I would definitely buy a house for my parents, probably a bigger house for myself. I don't know. I mean,
okay, a bigger house for yourself?
Well, what do you want me to say? I mean,
come on.
If you became a millionaire overnight, would you just live?
The houses will be an equal size.
Okay, well, what would you do?
I would buy 2 equal size houses.
Okay.
And we'll find out more, because there's a story about that after the break. Thanks, Andrew.
Army National Guard soldiers have the option to train and learn skills in the trade fields, skills that can lead to employment at home as well. Find out how you can learn a trade and serve part-time for your community and country by visiting nationalguard.com.
Here's your parachute.
Certain it's okay? Are you 4imprint certain?
Certainty matters, so congratulate coworkers or say thank you with promotional products from 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. With pride in the way, it's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured we are here to help. The VRAP team is standing by to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit VRAPWI.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
Guess what? The Powerball jackpot is still looking for a winner. After no one took home last night's drawing of $615 million, the pot now jumps to an estimated $650 million and will be the 9th largest Powerball prize ever. The next drawing will be tomorrow, so if you want a chance at the winnings, you got to get a ticket soon. What would you do with it, Jacob?
Well, first, as Andrew said, I'd buy a house, probably for my parents as well. With that amount of money, yeah. And then next thing I would do, I'd probably travel a lot, because there are a lot of places around the world I would like to see, so if you have the money to do so, might as well do it all.
Sure, so, places around the world with better weather.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, the weather here was fairly nice over the weekend. It will be hot tomorrow. We do have several chances of rain this week. Monday night into Tuesday morning, Wednesday, and then Thursday night into Friday will be the rounds of rainfall. So hopefully we do indeed see a good amount of rainfall, over an inch as possible for a lot of places in southern Wisconsin.
If you win the Powerball, deal me in. We'll see you tonight at News 3 Now at 10.